CZ. My name is Charlie. I am the CEO of Woorton, one of the biggest market making firms in the world, trading billions of dollars a year on exchanges such as Binance, but as well through our single dealer platform. For the next 20 minutes, I will have the privilege to discuss with CZ, CEO of Binance, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. For instance, on the 27th of November, Binance announced they traded 27 billion worth of USD in one single day. CZ, hi.
Yeah, hello, Charlie. Very nice to be here.
Nice. We're very happy to have you for PBWS 2020. Before digging a bit into Binance activity, let's talk a bit about the past 2 months and this amazing bull run that we have been living. According to you, how this bull cycle is more sustainable than 2017's? What are the differences?
Sure. Actually, just remembered before I get into that, the answering that question, I do have a quick announcement to make to the French community. So just allow me 1 minute. Yeah, so the Binance charity team completed the fundraising for the Notre Dame de Paris fundraising. Almost $60K US, or actually $57,000 US have been given to friends of Notre Dame. So that's the non-profit organization established in 2017. The original mandate was to support the restoration and preservation of Notre Dame Cathedral in the forms of BTC and ETH. So the cryptocurrency donations were raised from the Binance community in the days and months following the fire in response to President Emmanuel Macron's call for donations to restore the cathedral. And as a pioneer of using blockchain technology for social good, Binance Charity launched a crypto fundraising channel, which attracted the donations across the globe. So that's the donation. So yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for letting me make
my pleasure. I'm sure the audience will appreciate. We have a lot of French people, and the Notre Dame tragedy happens the same day as PBWS 2019. So I'm sure everyone remembers. So thanks for that. So. Yeah. Let's go back to the question, starting with a bit about the market,
sure.
Maybe more. I was just saying, we have a bull run now in 2020. It's a bit different than 2017. I feel. What do you think about that, and what are the difference according to you?
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of differences between this time and in 2017. I think 2017 we saw like a mad rush in for the ICO market. So people really just want to rush into investing in different ICOs. So that kind of pushed the price of Bitcoin and most of the other cryptocurrency prices up. I think this time around we are seeing a lot more users, a lot more regular users of cryptocurrencies, a lot more holders, and a lot more real solid projects. And we are seeing more applications like DeFi in the crypto space. So this time we've seen more users and more system traffic load way before we've seen the all-time high in price. So, and I think this time we're seeing that it's sustaining around 18,000 or 19,000 US dollars per Bitcoin for a sustained period of time. And I think right now, to be honest, the more that Bitcoin hovers at this price, right now it's a resistance. Once Bitcoin passes that, then this will turn into support. So I think the fundamental numbers in the industry are very different now. So so from our perspectives, I think this one is much more sustainable than the previous one.
And you're talking about this 18K resistance. According to you, who is buying this bull cycle? Is it retail? Is it institutionals? Is it a bit of both?
So from the data that we have, we see equal growth in institutions and retail trading. So the proportions of trading from institutions to retail has remained pretty constant on Binance. But we did hear, I did anecdotally hear stories we all hear many stories publicly and also hear some stories privately about many institutions, or it's not even institutional investing, it's not institutional traders, it's many companies' treasuries are allocating 1% to 2% of their treasury into crypto. And that alone, there's only a few companies doing that, and just that few companies allocating 1% alone is able to push the Bitcoin price up. So
you're mentioning this. You had a very interesting discussion about that with Michael Saylor a few days ago, um, um, which is actually the best example of how treasury managers may be integrating Bitcoin in their portfolio diversification strategy. Do you think? I mean, what do you think about the investment thesis? Is it like the monetary policy affecting the ways that they're seeing how they can hedge against inflation? What do you think about the investment thesis?
Yeah, I think fundamentally the monetary policies definitely affect the people's investment decisions. So yeah, I mean, 20% of US dollars are printed in the last year alone. So basically, US dollars diluted by 20%. And people may or may not have felt the effects of it yet, but I do believe that we will see inflation going up very quickly. And the smarter investors, if you're managing a company's treasury, you got to think those guys understand this impacts, and their job is to protect their assets. So they definitely will be looking for non-inflationary assets to invest in. So and Bitcoin is probably the best one right now, and almost all other cryptocurrencies are also limited supply. So that's definitely happening.
Yeah. 2020 has been a great year for BTC, but for Binance as well. You've recently announced hundreds millions of profit in 2020. About that profit, how does the revenue is split between your different business lines? We know you do a lot of things at Binance.
Yeah, I think our trading products are definitely the higher revenue generating products. So spot, margin, futures, and so the trading products that definitely generate the overwhelming majority of the revenues for us. And then we do have many long-term products that are either we offer them either for free or we just want to attract more, provide more values to users. So that includes our fiat channels, which are mostly free. We don't charge any fees for fiat channels. We have wallets, for example, like Trust Wallet has over 1 million monthly active users. So that's also a completely free product for people to use. There's no ads. And we also Binance Smart Chain, we're seeing the transaction volumes on the Binance Smart Chain are going up as well. And Binance Smart Chain has very low fees. That's 100% given to the nodes. So yeah, we have many of those products that don't generate any revenue. But right now, it is the trading products that's funding our growth. Yes.
Talking about products, you've been very active in terms of investment as well. You've been, I mean, you acquired CoinMarketCap, you acquired Swipe. 2021, what kind of players you'll be looking at in terms of strategy as a strategic acquisition?
Yeah, so our long-term strategy is basically to be a infrastructure services provider in this space. So anything that has to do with providing basic infrastructure for the crypto industry or for the financial world tomorrow, we are interested. And so anything that's, for example, trading is we consider that as a basic infrastructure providing liquidity. Wallet is one. In the future, probably payments is a very obvious one. Gaming, e-commerce, anything that has to do with infrastructure. So yeah. So and we also look for people who shares the long-term vision and mission with us. Our mission is to increase the freedom of money for people around the world. So we have a very long-term plan. So we typically don't work well with people who are very short-term driven, who are very short-term profit driven. That usually doesn't work well within our team. So we're looking for infrastructure play longer term and share the same vision and mission and values.
Yeah, still about the product and the vision you're trying to share the company you acquire and with your employee. For instance, with CoinMarketCap, you reshaped all the UX, deleting the ads, trying to focus on how you publish data and share it with the audience. If you could name like 3 things that are very important when you drive the development of a product at Binance, what would it be?
I think basically we just want to the one question we keep asking is basically what does the users want? So that's the only question we ask. That's pretty much the only question we care about. And so for the exchange, people want speed, stability, security, and we provide that, and relatively large number of selection of coins. For CoinMarketCap, we asked the same question over and over, and the ads were kind of annoying, so we took it away. So the ads were generating somewhere around $1 to $2 million of revenue for CoinMarketCap each month. So per year, so it's somewhere between $10 to $20 million. We just said, well, we can probably live without it by providing a much better user experience. So we did do a very heavy revamp of the homepage, and also what's coming up, I believe, is the total revamp of the coins page. So each coin, the layout for each coin is going to be much better, I think. So yeah, I think that's the only question we care about. Yeah.
And to achieve, you're working with people all over the world. I have friends working in Binance, in the UK, in France. How many people are working for Binance right now?
I think we just passed over 1,500, so more than 1,500 people on the Binance team, and they're working all distributed.
Where are they based? I mean, once again, I have friends everywhere working for Binance. Do you have office everywhere in the world?
So we don't have that many we don't have any long-term office. We sometimes have temporary offices just for gatherings and etc. So most people are very nomad, so they travel quite a bit anyway. This year they haven't been traveling that much, so they're very, very distributed. I think we counted over 50 countries last time. Now it's probably more. So we started working from home, or working remotely even before COVID. So people have a lot of freedom. They can work from anywhere.
Okay, not too hard to manage people working remotely all over the world.
Yeah. So for us, it's never been hard. So it's not that bad.
Okay. Impressive. I mean, as you know, I'm based in France. The regulation over here has been popping up. We have some deadlines coming up in December where exchanges needs to be registered. How do you position Binance in this registration and with the recent talk of our Prime Minister Bruno Le Maire?
Yeah. So I think Binance wants to be fully compliant anywhere we operate. So and I believe I believe there is an ongoing task force that's work. I believe our sort of European team is looking at the PSAN registrations. So I actually don't know the status of that on top of my head, but I think whenever it is possible for Binance to register, we're always happy to do so. Yeah,
so you're working on it, and you know it's difficult for all the French companies to do it. So I can imagine when you're coming from abroad, and so Binance is probably I said it's the most profitable companies in the field, but yet I'm sure you have a lot of upgrade to make and more fit to make it in the coming years. How will you do to make from 1 billion profit to 10 billion profit in 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if we're the most profitable business, to be honest, but we don't really focus on profit. To be very direct, to be very frank. So we actually focus much more on just providing products people want to use. So we focus very much on what things people want to use, and we charge our fees very transparently. When people trade, we charge a small fee. And also, we reinvest most of our profit. We plan to reinvest most of our profits back into the industry. In this industry, though, we also need to be very well prepared for potentially like 80%, 90% retraces for cryptocurrency prices. So all of our fees, we hold crypto. So we hold Bitcoin, we hold BNB, we hold almost every other coin that we list, because many people don't know they can use BNB to pay for fees to get a discount. And so we actually end up, our revenues include a lot of different coins, and we just hold them. And there are, in history, there's 3 or 4 cases where the Bitcoin price dropped more than like 85%. So even though we may earn hundreds of millions now, if the Bitcoin price drops and most other cryptocurrency price will drop with it, if it drops 85%, the $100 million we earn today will be only worth 15 million tomorrow, or when it drops, or if that happens. So in this industry, we need to have a very strong financial buffer. So we do prepare for that. And the other profits we have, we do want to reinvest all back into growing the industry. So we're not a really we're profitable, but we're not like profit driven. So we're rarely thinking about how to go from 1 billion to 1 trillion, etc. We're just thinking about we're thinking of how do we push cryptocurrencies. I guess there's probably about 100 million users in this space. How do we make that 1 billion? How do we make that 10 billion? So, how do we make that 7 or 8 billion? So we think more along those terms. And my belief is that as long if we push a product that people like to use, we can always get value out of it. So yeah, that's kind of the way we think about it.
Okay. Thanks a lot for this transparency and taking the time to explain. I have one last question, and I'm sure the audience will appreciate. Can you tell me anything that most people in the field don't know about Binance or about the market?
Oh, I think that's a pretty tough one. I think, we've talked about Binance.
Yeah. It is.
I think we talked about Binance quite a lot, but one thing, I guess if I was to name one thing, I think there's a lot of people who does not understand how a good exchange operates. We don't really control price of anything that's trading on Binance. So I see a lot of novice users sort of hey, CZ, can you pump the price of Bitcoin? I wish I could. So I think that's probably one thing that people sometimes misunderstand about exchanges. We don't control the price. We provide liquidity. We are a marketplace for people to discover price, and the price is discovered by people buying and selling. We don't participate in trading at all. So I guess that's probably some novice users don't really understand that. But from an exchange perspective, we really hope the price of Bitcoin or all cryptocurrencies go super high. When they go super high, our revenues increase. We are able to hire more people come into the industry. It's good for everyone. So I think that's probably one of the misconceptions people sometimes have. But overall, though, Binance is a very transparent organization. And we have 1,500 people now all around the world. And yeah, so and we have to maintain that level of transparency to keep moving forward. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I think that was a good one, especially with the liquidity. As a market maker, I can only testify and agree with what you just said.
Yeah,
look, you've been.
Yeah, you probably influence price much more than we do.
Well, I won't agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, you've been covering the regulation, you've been covering your product development. Thanks a lot for your transparency and all of this very valuable information. It's done for today. We were very pleased to have you, and I hope the audience enjoyed it. It was a pleasure for me to have the ability to ask some questions. So thanks a lot.
Charlie, it's a pleasure for me as well. And thank you for having me here, and thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks.
Cheers. Yeah, bye-bye.
Cheers.